What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today I'm going to be analyzing how I play the map Dome while playing solo. So the first thing I want to point out is that you'll notice the entire game I focus all my attention on capturing and holding the B and the C flag. This is because transitioning back and forth between C and B is much easier than from A to any other flag on the map. Also being spawn trapped at A is really not fun. It's really hard to break out of that spawn trap if you're spawning in the dome and the enemy team locks you down in there. So right here I noticed that we are being completely overrun at C, so I know it's my job right now to get to C and do my best to defend it. So I managed to take out two guys, and I don't know how, I just didn't see that guy initially, but he managed to take me out. So here I spawned in the loading dock, and I noticed my team is starting to move a little bit more towards A. A lot of people here would just run towards A to try and capture it because it would be the most uncontested flag, but we don't want A, we want B and C, so I push and fight for C as best as I can, and I managed to hold it. So now we have the enemy spawning near the A flag, and it's kind of like a spawn trap right now. I know they're spawning in dome, so I decided I'm going to shoot all the barrels that I can in the dome, even through that wall there. And I get lucky and get a couple kills out of that. And now I notice my teammates are pushed a little too far towards A, and I kind of expected them, the enemies that is, to be spawning in the loading dock area. So I want to push in, and I want to clear out the loading dock and stop them from spawning there. So you'll notice the pattern of my gameplay style in this game is basically just run back and forth between B and C wherever I'm needed. So if I notice my teammates are starting to thin out towards C, then I'll run towards C, and same thing for B. So when I got stunned there behind that truck and taken out by that guy, I wouldn't have done anything differently to handle that gunfight. I laid down, I was ready for him, ready to hip fire him, which is the PM9's strength, hip firing at close range. But he managed to get the lucky headshot. He might have had a little bit of a connection advantage. Whatever happened, it happened, and I wouldn't have changed anything with that. So I managed to get that lucky multi-kill. I always run, or not always, but I like to run these high support kill streaks when I'm playing solo and I know the enemy team is pushing for flags quite hard, because I always really want to win the game. That's always my main focus. And those support kill streaks really help when you don't have much of a team helping you out. So in that last little sequence there, the guy with Final Stand completely screwed everything up. If he wouldn't have had Final Stand, I would have plenty of time to take him out, take out the IMS, and then put myself in a better position to handle the gunfight against the guy that took me out. But Final Stand's in the game, and you just have to learn to deal with that kind of stuff in Call of Duty, if you haven't already. And that brings me to one of the points that I wanted to touch on. Playing on a clear head with no frustrations is much better than playing when you're angry and frustrated. The angrier you get, the worse you play, and therefore the angrier you get. So it's just a never-ending cycle, and it's completely pointless. So here I notice we're losing C, so instinctively I just run down, take out the guy on C. But what I didn't realize was B was completely clear. I didn't notice my teammates were all down near the dome area and not even paying any attention to B at all. So the enemy got B no problem. So I want to take B back, but I'm not going to take it head on. I'm going to push around and through the loading dock area. Notice how I use the cover here and throw C4 in a fair gunfight. Right there we both had head glitches, and that would have been too fair for me. So throw a C4, lay down, set it off, take him out, no problem. So now I'm pushing through nice and slow. I'm ready to fire every time I come around a corner. I'm not sprinting around corners. And here I prioritize my targets. You notice there was that one guy that was heading towards C, and I had an easy back shot on him. But he wasn't a threat to me. I could hear the guy to my right in the headset, so I turn around, take the threat out, and let the other guy go. My teammates can deal with him. Or if he decides to come back like he did, then I can take him out in a better position. So now we've got both of our flags locked down fairly well, and so I just decided to kind of roam around between the flags, see if I can pick up a couple kills, and just basically stay available so I can get to either flag whenever I need to. I noticed we're getting a little light at B, so I start heading up towards there and taking it nice and cautious through here because I don't have any teammates on the middle of the map. So therefore I expect enemies to be there. And that guy there, I should have seen him on the mini-map. He was clearly displayed by the advanced UAV, but didn't see him and got caught off guard. So right here I notice a little action going on near the loading dock area. So I pull back to the position of advantage, and nobody did decide to come around the corner, but I notice all my teammates are being taken out at C, so I really have to push towards there. So as I'm coming in here to defend C, I always have a quick look to the left just to make sure my back's covered. I don't expect the enemy that's capturing C to be watching behind them, so they're not too much of a threat typically as you come in that way, but sometimes they are watching that side and they'll take you off guard. But the guys on the left are much more of a threat, so always have a quick look to the left if you feel you have to. And there I got really lucky, got inside just in time. I probably should have cut through the tunnel area on the stairs there, but it's always a risky move going through there because it's a really tough choke point and no cover through that stairway at all. So I took the risk and it worked out for me. So now I'm expecting them to spawn somewhere around the dome area, so I push up here and just decide to lock this down a little bit, maybe pick up a kill or two. Turns out they were spawning up near the loading dock area, so I noticed that on the mini-map and I head straight to B right away because I notice my teammates are getting thinned out there slowly. So I know we're about to lose B, but instead of pushing straight on, I kind of do a little bit of a flank and go to the right, take him out. But that was not a very smart move there. After I took out the first guy, I should have backed off behind that desk, that position of advantage I was talking about earlier, and I would have taken that second guy out, no problem. So now I'm going to push back towards B, try and take it back, and this time I'm going to try taking it head on because I'm feeling pretty confident right now. And you'll notice there's a guy behind the desk there, and he's watching the doorway into B. So instead of taking him head on with no cover or very little cover, you back off, use this wall as kind of a head glitch, and now that gunfight went from being by far in his favor to now in my favor. I didn't manage to take him out, but I did manage to move him out of that position of advantage, which I'm sure helped my teammates out as they were pushing in there. Decide that I'm not going to push my luck anymore, and I'm going to try flanking rather than taking them head on, because it was obvious that we weren't quite winning that battle. So flank around, take him out, and now it's going to be an easy capture. This is my favorite capture spot on this map. They have almost no view of you at all, just the tip of your head. And you have full view of their body. They almost never expect you there. So there we get overrun, but oh well, that happens sometimes. Not much you can do about it. Just do your best. And now I'm just really wanting to push them back because I've noticed they've pushed way up and gained a lot of map control on us. So I'm being a little bit too aggressive there, trying to run out and take them out, but I'm really trying to push this map control hard because we want to push them back towards A. Right now I'm noticing that they're starting to push C much harder than B now. I think that's just because we kind of demoralized them a little bit at B, so now they think, okay, now I'll push C, and it's the smart thing to do. It's what I would have done. So I push in towards C. I notice my teammates are spawning B, and the enemy's spawning kind of dome area, so I want to lock down the dome. Right here, I didn't notice that the enemy team had pushed past my team, and they're now capturing B. I really thought my teammates on that side of the map had B covered, but apparently they didn't. When I was calling to my stealth bomber, I noticed a guy spawning up right by B, so I realized that is definitely not good because now we're being pushed down to the A spawn, and we really don't want to be at the A spawn. That C4 there, I saw some dots on the mini-map and decided to kind of lead with the C4, possibly clear out a guy that would have an advantage in a gunfight there, and got lucky and got the kill. So now I really want to push back and recapture B. You'll notice that I could have defended A a little while ago, but I let them take it. That's because we don't want A, we want C and B. That's the one thing that's in my mind all the time. So that last death was just a really unlucky lag spike, and that's one of the things that gets me really upset. As hard as I try to keep my mind clear and not get frustrated, that's the one thing that really gets on my nerves in this game. So you'll notice here I start getting a little angry, and you can see how it affects how I play. I'm taking stupid deaths, I'm not making smart decisions, and it's all because of my mindset. I'm getting angry. So here I decided to jump on A. The game's almost over. It doesn't really matter if we end up spawning down at A now. We're going to win the game anyways. That guy threw the nade at me, so I decided instead of trying to stick with the flag and see if I can capture it before that blows up, I jump off, find a nice position where the guy won't be expecting me, and take him out no problem at all. So now I'm basically I want to push for the final kill, and I push a little too aggressively. Kind of get lucky with this guy, hurt him on my headset, but I'm pushing way too hard here. I knew I was probably going to die there, but I wanted to get that final kill cam. Didn't manage to get it. So that's how I play Dome when I'm playing solo. I think the number one thing to take away from this is to always try and hold B and C. That's my winning strategy, at least for this map. I basically can't lose if my main focus is just B and C. So the final score I got in that game was 60-15 with a bunch of flag caps and a bunch of defends as well. If you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a like rating, and if you like my content, I would love it if you could subscribe. We'll talk to you guys next time.